Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, still rocking my cold over here, so it might be a little quieter than usual, but so far so good. We've only had some small coughing fits today, so we'll see how it goes. But we're here to talk about Vanderpump Rules season 12, which, feels weird. It almost feels like they should have come up with a new name for this. But I guess, they're trying to keep the same audience, which I get. But it's hard not to grieve the old cast a bit as you watch this one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, as I saw Tom Schwartz post yesterday, comparison is the thief of joy. And just like
It
when we
is.
covered Love Island USA, we said we're not going to compare 7 to 6 because 6 was magic and we're not going to have that again. And it did end up being its own kind of magic. It was different, right? So we're not going to, we've got that out of the way. We grieve the old cast, but that's just, it's over now. That they're not, we can't have that again. So there's no point in being like, it's not as good as this, or this person is the Stassi and this person is the Sheena. I think we just have to look at it as a new show. And I really liked it, and Ricky did not. So
I don't
we got
like
both
it.
opinions coming here. If you feel one way or the other, we disagree. So
Yeah. Yeah.
what do
The thing is like you said, they should have called it its own thing. We've seen them do that with like Next Gen, where it's like we have all of the stories of the housewives as kids, and they made it its own show. I feel like they
Mhm.
should have done this too. Vanderpump Rules Next Gen, Vanderpump Rules Gen. What are they? Z.
Z, I think.
You know what I mean?
G
Because
A.
I think it's going to be extremely difficult, in my opinion, to keep the same audience, because the audience that was with Vanderpump Rules, the OG, we're all grown now, right? Like we're all
Mhm.
adults. Like I think a massive part of what I love about Vanderpump Rules, we're seeing these young people in their 20s like really elevate throughout life. Like every season we saw them, like, elevate, and we saw them not working at Sir and buying houses and having kids and like really like transitioning in life. And like I think we were all around the same ages as them, so you could relate more. This show to me is just very, very young.
Mhm.
I can't relate to 22-year-olds. I mean, except for if they're on Love Island acting a fool, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think for me it's just like I that's how I feel when watching it. I'm like,
I agree. They are young and we're not anymore. But I look at it more because I did work in restaurants for so long. I think I worked in them for like, I don't know, over 10 years, we'll say. And that's what I see when I watch it is like, it's very relatable to the restaurant industry. All the stuff that happens on the show is what happens when you work in a restaurant. So when I look at it that way versus like watching Vanderpump Rules, the original, and then this, then I can still relate to it because I'm like, that shit happened where you go in on your day off and yell at your ex-boyfriend and you drink on the job and there's these staff meetings and people get sent home and like all of that stuff really happens. And so in that way, I find it still true to real life. And I know a lot of people have said they're all actors, but we have to remember the original cast also was wanting to be actors. Anyone working at a restaurant in West Hollywood is there to be an actor. That's never changed. I think it was just less obvious back then. We were still in this bubble of believing reality TV was real and these people were just living their real lives and they don't want to be actors anymore. They're not wanting to be famous, but that's the same. That is not changed. They all want it, like Sheena had her songs and Natalie has her songs. They're all have the same goal to be on TV. So
right.
it doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to be good reality TV stars just because that's what they wanted. I don't think you can find people anymore that don't understand what they're going to get out of this. Even on
Yeah.
Love is Blind and all the other shows we're watching, it's really hard to get genuine people anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. Like, I definitely agree that, like, you have all of these young, hot people working at a restaurant in West Hollywood. Of course, there's some sort of entertainment focus there. Of course,
Mhm.
you are being presented with being on a reality show, and you have to think of like what opportunities come with that and what you can do if it is a success. Also, what
Right.
you can do if it's not a success. But then I do think that when you do have people who are like so desperate for stardom or fame or whatever, then you get that like inauthentic feeling of like, oh, they're just doing this because the camera's here, or they're trying
Mhm.
to put extras on it because they're mic'd up. Like, and I don't know, like I don't know. I know at BravoCon we saw apparently not the whole episode, half of the episode,
Mhm.
and I just wasn't feeling it. And even seeing the rest of this episode, I'm not personally feeling it. The only person that I really like on the show is Venus, and I
Yeah.
think everyone else is just, well, like, I think you have to find a way to relate to the characters
Mhm.
in some bit, like, and I'm having a hard time doing that. I am gonna give
Mhm.
it, like, a few more episodes to see if they grow on me. I know it's really
Mhm.
hard to capture the audience in one episode, so maybe after a few. I mean, I don't know. I also had a part of Vanderpump that I really enjoyed. The original was like the relationship that Lisa had with these kids. Like, you could tell she really cared about them. You could tell she really, like, was like a mother figure to a lot of them. I didn't get that
Mhm.
vibe. I didn't get the vibes, okay? And
Yeah.
maybe they'll come, but I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not a fan. It's like basically the Valley is the old Vanderpump now, and
Yeah.
this Vanderpump is something new.
So you liked Venus, no other
Oh,
cast members? Do you think Shane is hot?
no,
No.
no.
Yeah.
I think what is the guy that has the jealous girlfriend? What is his name? I don't want to say the guy with the
Marcus.
Marcus. I was going to say the guy with the bags. Um, he,
He has like
I
a Pete Davidson vibe to him, right?
100%.
Yeah, very similar.
100%. Yes, yes. Like, Pete Davidson keeps a bad bitch, but, like, is not hot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Marcus, I don't know. I know he says he gets a lot of girls and, like, he's that guy. I don't really get that vibe from him. I definitely get that Marcus is in love with Shane. Yeah.
Yes.
He's in
I
love
think
with
he
Shane.
admitted it at one point, right?
Yeah, he's into it. He's into it. I also think that I think I seen in the preview him kissing Venus.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not, I know that his girlfriend's like worried about Natalie. Girl, you've got bigger fish to fry. Like, I think
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
worried about the wrong thing. But
Yeah.
if anything, it's like Natalie. I don't think you should be worried about Natalie. It looks like,
Do you
that's his girl, you know?
do you think it's weird to send good morning text as friends if someone has a significant other?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
reserved for relationships, right?
100%. Now I will say, like, obviously I'm joking when I say that, she shouldn't be worried about Natalie, because I think that the relationship between Natalie and Marcus is strange. The way that she went and leaned on him and leaned over him when they were
Mhm.
at that bar, me and her would have been fighting, because that's
Yeah.
just rude and that's just
Uh-huh.
disrespectful. You don't touch on my man like this. I don't give. I wish a bitch would. Okay, you do not hover over and lean on my man. I don't care if it's in front of my face. I don't care if I'm not here. This interaction is completely inappropriate, and I will
Mhm.
literally drag you by your motherfucking hair out this bar,
Yeah.
because who the fuck do you think you are? But sending good morning text, sending heels. I mean, sending heels, she probably just trying to get his opinion. You know what I mean? Because he probably has a good fashion sense,
Fashion.
but it's just very like, and the thing is that if he was like a homosexual male, maybe that is how Natalie is treating him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, maybe that's how she sees the friendship, but at the end of the day, he's not,
Mhm.
so you need to treat him and his relationship with respect. And when she went over and leaned on him, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, we would have been fighting, because if I was his girlfriend, I would have said something.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think about Natalie and Demi? Are we calling her Demi or Demi on this show?
Demi, I think she's
Yes, Demi,
Demi.
right? Okay. Um,
Uh,
the 54-year-old. So people have found pictures and stuff.
Mhm.
he looks like a 54-year-old man, and
Okay.
apparently they didn't have sex, so I don't know. Do you think that's too
What's
big
the
of an age?
lore? Hell yeah, 30 years
He
is excessive.
Yeah, I mean, he just works there. He just actually was in, like, a really bad motorcycle accident, was in, like, a coma and, like, fighting for
Oh,
his
wow.
life, but that
Oh,
that was
wow.
in September, so after all of this happened, but I don't really know any other lore, like, about, like there's a photo of them posted together on Thanksgiving in 2024. I think I
Let
saved
me
it. Oh, yeah,
s
I did.
Yeah, let me see him.
I mean, he looks handsome here, I will say. Well, I don't know. You tell me what you think. Can you see it?
Okay, give me a little zoom. Oh,
Oh,
give
on
me
him?
like, give me
Okay.
a little zoom on him.
Yeah, it's hard to say if he's handsome because of the duck face he's making, but you tell me what you think.
Not the duck. Oh, Lord, not the duck face. Up, yeah, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
He's handsome.
Yeah, I think the more recent photos, obviously, he's had, like, a bad car accident,
Not
so
a
obviously
face.
not his
I
normal
think that's a
face.
red flag. That's a red flag in itself. A duck face, duck lips, a grown man that does duck lips. Also, a red flag, a grown man that dates a 26-year-old. 30 years
Yeah.
is a massive age gap. I think
Mhm.
that Demi and Natalie are frenemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did I mean, I did find myself laughing even though who knows, they're probably having these lines written for them, like you said, it's very planned out, but I thought, like, a lot of them were funny, which I appreciate. Like,
Okay, who did you think was funny? And what did you think was funny? I don't
I
think I
I
laughed
li
one time.
What? Okay, I thought lots of the stuff they said was funny, but
Like what? Tell me. I wanna know. I wanna
oh, now
laugh.
now you're putting me on the spot and I can't remember, but it's okay, we don't have to agree on
Well,
everything,
yeah, we
so
don't have to agree on everything. I don't I don't know. Like I don't know. It didn't pull me in. It didn't
mhm.
I didn't get that lore. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
The
I don't know.
one
What did you guys think?
the one thing I did not like is the fact that Chris and his cousin are a part of the show. We saw Chris on
100%.
Perfect Match, and he was with
Totally.
Tolu, and he didn't treat her very good. He couldn't pronounce her name properly the whole damn show, even though he was paired up with her, and we heard some stuff after the fact that, like, yeah, he wasn't there for the right reasons, which 90% of them aren't, so whatever, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I always had a bad taste about him after the way he was with Tolu, so to see him on Vanderpump Rules is very annoying for me. I would have preferred not to see him on another show.
Same.
Maybe he'll grow on us, I don't know. We did see him at the Netflix party with a blonde girl holding hands. I'm not sure if it was the blonde girl from the show, but if they have any kind of flirtation, it looks like they are dating now because they were very together at the Netflix party in July, so we'll see what happens, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
agree.
think, was this show filmed this summer or last summer?
I couldn't tell you. Maybe like maybe summer. Yeah, no,
This
hopefully
summer? It
summer
must have been this summer.
2024.
Ye Oh,
2025,
like
yeah.
yeah, it must have been this summer because it looks like Natalie and that Paolo guy were together Thanksgiving 2024, so that makes sense in terms of a timeline. So yeah, if this was in July, we saw them together, so maybe that'll be part of the show.
Yeah, I
But
get
I don't trust him.
I felt the same way about Chris. There was something, and maybe that's why I don't the show doesn't resonate with me, right? Like you see this guy that you've seen on 2 reality shows, so it just screams fake, right? It just screams
Yeah.
fake, and you want to believe that this is real. You want to believe that these are genuine friendships and people that actually work here and people that da 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 da. But now I'm like, no, Chris was cast on this show and now is pretending like he works at Sir. You know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
is working at Sir because of the show. You notice everybody else, it was like, oh, we've been here since 2023. They have pictures of them working there 8 years ago. But Chris, all of a
Mhm.
sudden, you're like the new bartender at Sir. It's giving you were hired as a
He
role on this
was.
show. And I think the show could have been will be fine without him.
Mhm.
But again, not to compare because comparison is the thief of joy, but we didn't have that on the old Vanderpump. That's what all of these people were friends. All of these people dated each other, slept with each other, worked together. Like it was a real friend group. It wasn't a
Mhm.
manufactured, put together fucking friend group. And when you have people that are being casted as a role on this show that's not
Mhm.
genuine friendships. That's not an authentic friend group. So you're not going to get the same lore that you get from people who are actually friends, because now it's like, okay, now Chris's cousin is like the new server. So it's like the only two people that really know each other are Chris and his cousin. These are not your friends. You don't know these people. You're just inserting yourself into a friend group and into a role, which is
Yeah,
not authentic.
I could feel that in the episode where it was like it didn't feel like Chris and his cousin like fit in with the group, right? They did seem like a genuine friend group, the rest of them. And then Chris, yeah, it feels like they hired him for that role. But I feel like on the original one, wasn't Sheena working at a different restaurant, but they moved her to serve for the show, I think. So I
Yeah,
do
but she
think
was
it
still working
happened.
at
Yeah, Villa
a
Blanca.
Villa Blanca. So she's still, and the thing is, she was working at Villa Blanca and she would, fill in at Sir from time to time. So she still knew
Mhm.
all of these people, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. It just like the show we could have done without
Yeah, I
Chris,
agree. He's the one part where I'm like, "Oh, I don't wanna support him after how he," because I love Tolu, so don't wanna
Hmm.
support him after how he treated her, but maybe he'll be a villain and we can all hate him, so but it'll be interesting because I just checked and it did film April this year till the end of summer, so will be interesting to see what Chris is doing on screen in July versus what we saw him at this party doing. And then we'll know if it's fake or real. Because if he's not dating a blonde girl on the show in July, we saw him with his blonde girlfriend at this party. So that
Yeah.
will tell us all, I think. I mean, obviously, some of it is going to be fake. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I know that like it's going to be very difficult to get, the same reality TV that you got 10 years ago. Like everything is
mhm,
just constantly like evolving. I think we all understand that as an audience, but that's why I'm saying I think that this new show is for a younger generation of listeners. I think it's for, the Gen Zers out there. I think that Gen Zers would actually really, really enjoy this show. I think that they would enjoy watching this show.
mhm,
Me so far, I'm just like, nah, not for me,
yeah.
not for me. But I did like
Yeah.
Venus though. I think he's cute. I think he's funny. I think he has a really outgoing personality.
Oh, I know what I thought was funny when Marcus was talking about Demi, like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Like she's always been there. Like that made me laugh. I thought that was funny. So
Oh,
one
yeah,
thing.
because she's in the background of the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
Vanderpump and like we've never even seen her, which is so crazy that they wouldn't put her on the show back then,
Mhm.
and then they put her on the show now because it's like she obviously knew all of those people, like she knew Sheena and Ariana and all of them. So it's like,
Yeah.
why didn't you guys want her on the show then? But
I
yeah.
think they have a lot of people like that. Well, remember season 8? Did you watch season 8 of Vanderpump?
Mhm.
Was a disaster. That they brought Dana in and she didn't actually work there. She was like a hired person, same as this. And it didn't go well, right? Because it was
Yeah.
fake. So that might be
Yeah.
the same problem here.
Yeah. And another thing, okay, and I don't know if like other people notice this or understand the importance of like representation, but I think that in Vanderpump 10 years ago, one thing that I
Mhm.
noticed, I was like, there's just no black people that work here or people of color in general. No people of
Mhm.
color in general that work here is just this a group of like all, you know, white people, which is fine. So
Mhm.
to fast forward and see 10 years later, however many years later, it makes me look at Lisa Vanderpump with like a side eye because I'm like, okay, so now we have a whole new cast and it's the same thing all over again. There's no people of color. Like
Mhm.
you don't have an Asian person, you don't have a black person, you don't have nothing. Like everybody's just white. Like it
Mhm.
I don't like that. I don't like seeing that. Like when you watch TV, you like to see people that look like you. You like to
Yeah.
see people that you can connect with, that have familiarity with or whatever. I think I said that word right. Like, and
Mhm.
and it's like I noticed it 10 years ago, but they were so chaotic that I was like, ooh, like you just can't look away. And so to
Mhm.
10 years later to see it again, I know they tried to incorporate faith at one point, and it seemed like we're trying to put like a token black
Yeah.
girl in the mix. It just didn't seem authentic and
Well,
obviously didn't go well, you know?
yeah, well, people forget, like, the whole thing with Faith is why Stassi was fired, Kristen was fired, because
Mhm.
they did something horrible where they, like, I think there was somebody accused of some sort of crime, and they said it was
Assumed
Faith
it
just
was
because it
her.
was
Yeah.
someone that looked like Faith. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's they've obviously dealt with controversies of not having enough diversity on the show, and it is weird for them not to change that
It's
after
10
10
years
years.
later and you still don't have any diversity. I don't like that. Like,
No.
I don't like that. Like, I
We
feel
didn't
like
need Chris and his cousin. We could have had somebody much better than
Jerome.
that.
No, I'm just playing.
Yes,
You could
I
have
agree, though.
had
You know who they
Jerome
need
and his
to
cousin. No, just
You
kidding.
know who they need to put on TV, which we haven't got to our recap of it yet, but Potomac, Kiarna's brother. Did you see him? Have you
I
watched
didn't
that one
see
yet?
it. I didn't see it.
What? On
Wait.
the last episode?
Oh, no. I didn't see her brother. Or maybe I did and didn't pay attention to him.
Oh, he was in a whole scene. Anyway, he's a very handsome man, so we'll get
Oh, I
there.
think
But
he didn't stick out to me then. Yeah. Oh, yeah, when she was having the talk with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
Oh,
get
you
to
didn't. Yeah,
Potomac.
yeah, yeah.
We'll
Sorry.
get to
Another
Potomac.
recap.
But
We do that one too.
another
So if you
we do
watch,
that one too.
come check it out. But
Um,
he should be on the show or somebody hot like him. Because yeah, Chris
somebody
and
or like just somebody. Like I just feel like there's no Asians, there's no Indians, there's no
hmm
black people, there's no Armenians. Like we can't get nothing. Like we can't get just some diversity. Like
yeah,
there's nobody that works there that has some, you know.
I'm just looking it
uh,
up to see if anyone has talked about it. But
yeah, I just I don't know.
yeah, it says people have been commenting on the aggressively white cast and the tone deaf casting. And it's not the demographics of Los Angeles, which is true, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just bizarre that it's definitely something I noticed years ago on the cast, which made me not want to get into the season. Like I was like,
Mhm.
I got into it because of the scandal of it all, and I wanted to understand the lore. But it was like, and then so to see that again is just kind of like, oh my, it's disappointing.
Mhm.
So maybe that's another reason why I'm not like really like loving it. I do. What do you think of Marcus and his friendship with Venus and then his
Venus.
girl and then the girlfriend of it all and the fight that him and the girlfriend had?
It just seems like a complicated situation. Like, it seems like they're in a throuple, but they're not saying that. But I mean, Marcus did joke repeatedly in the episode about being in love with his friends, with men. But I mean, is he just usually jokes have some truth to them, right? But
Right.
I don't know. I mean, the fighting between Natalie and Marcus is like, it just so, I think a lot of people can relate. That's a relationship when you work in a bar, a restaurant in your 20s. It's just drinking and fighting and mess. So it is relatable, but it's very toxic. And like you said, at our age, it's annoying to watch. You're like, you guys, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting married.
Yeah,
Just get out of this.
just get out of this, calling 100 times, popping up, it's just, and then not even, you open the door, you let her right in, you guys don't talk about it. But at
hmm
least when he was relaying the story to Shane, his real true love, and,
hmm
um, and she was relaying the story, at least it was the same, because
Yeah.
usually a guy's version is, like, way off the wall, and then, like, her version's much different. She's like, "Just answer my 100 calls." I'm like, "Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Okay."
Venus said, if someone called me 100 times, I'd be calling the police. So,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
those relationships usually someone's gonna hit rock bottom. Something bad will happen. It's just fighting till 5 a.m. and chasing each other to each other's houses, drinking. It's just no good can come of it. But good for the show. Like, it did feel genuine in that way. Like, they do seem like a toxic, messy couple. I don't feel like that's forced, but
Yeah, yeah, and especially when they've been dating since, like, before filming. Then we have Paolo and Natalie, and then Paolo also dated Demi, but then
mhm.
Paolo's not on the show. I think that would have made for a lot of I wonder why he's not on the show because I feel like that would have been a messy dynamic
Mhm.
with an older guy that like made Demi. How old is Demi?
They didn't say, but I would say
Uh,
maybe 30s,
for
like a little
yeah,
older.
I think
40?
she's. I don't know. Let me not. But maybe in her
I was
like
gonna say
older,
30.
older. I think she's around the age of the other Vanderpump people, which is right, like 40,
Oh,
41.
that's true. I didn't think
Yeah.
that. Hold on. Let me see if we can find out. But yeah, I think not having someone that the
Hello.
storyline is centered around on is hard,
I
right?
wonder why they didn't do that. I mean, if he's 56 and still working at a restaurant, I would assume that like maybe this is, something he would want to do. Um But yeah, I think that that would have been a really good element to add because there's clearly drama there. She went into work on her day off and was screaming at him. I'm glad they showed us the behind the
Yeah, the
scenes
security
footage, but
footage. Yeah.
that could have maybe been a scene. So, that really happened. So it's like, okay, cool. But I think like definitely wondering why Paolo is not a part of the cast. I think that would have been an interesting little dynamic to see, but now I guess now they're trying to make Shane and Natalie a thing.
Mhm. I have
So,
no luck on finding Demi's age, but it says she's been working at SUR for 7 years, so that's
mhm,
good. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know why I thought longer, but 7 years is a long time, I
Yeah,
guess,
I
so
think they said on the show it's like 7, 8 years or
oh,
something like
there's a picture of her and Dana, who we were just talking about from 2020 on her Instagram, so you can see it.
mm, yeah, I don't even remember Dana.
Yeah, so
So there's that.
she's been in the mix, which is more than we can say for other people, I guess, but
Yeah.
I did you
What
like
it
her? Did you,
who
like, find her funny? Demi?
Demi, I'm not gonna no. I didn't
No.
find her funny. I didn't find her nothing. I didn't find her to like it's like, okay, she's gonna be like the manager that kind of has to put them all in their place. Cool, but she's also like their friend. Cool.
Mhm.
I feel like we didn't maybe see a lot of her.
Yeah.
What did you think of the business partner? It seems like maybe Sir is struggling a bit and they're hoping that this new season is gonna like bring them some popularity and bring them some customers and bring them some, it seems like maybe like a big marketing thing for Sir. What did you think of
Mhm.
the business partner watching the cameras and seeing Marcus drinking?
I mean, she cried about it, which was a bit much, right? I like I said, that's part of being in the restaurant. Like a few of the other ones said, this happens all the time. Everybody's doing it. We just got caught. So I don't know if this is just, I mean, it feels like a forced storyline. It's a way to get someone in trouble, which has always been a big part of the show, like James and Jax and getting fired and getting put on probation. It's just like that's what happens. So it
Yeah.
sort of feels like it is something they're really doing, like they really are drinking, but it's normally not something they get in trouble for. And they kind of used it, like Marcus said when he left this meeting, like I didn't expect that to happen. So it kind of feels like they kind of trapped them because the cameramen were filming it, right? And so but it
Yeah.
also could come down to, like, yes, we let you have a drink while you're working, but we don't want that getting out. We could get in trouble for that, right? And so
Right.
for
Like
you
she
to
said, we
so
have HR.
brazenly
Yeah.
yeah, for you to not hide that knowing you're on camera, but maybe just a way to, like, nip it in the bud of, like, you can't we're on film now, so you gotta watch what you're doing. So, I don't know, part of it felt real to me, but then her crying about it was a bit much, but I don't know how bad their business is doing. Maybe they are just genuinely in a stressful place in terms of like not wanting to get shut down or not wanting to get in any trouble from having the show film there. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What did you So one thing that like I noticed, right, is like like you said, it's a big part of the show of like the firing and the probation and and I'm not comparing, but I can tell which characters are trying to mimic OG characters. I will say that.
Yeah.
But something that was different is when Marcus walked out, they literally show the big old microphone. They show
Hmm.
production asking him, how are you feeling or whatever. And now they're like trying to add in this element of like, this is a reality TV show. They're showing the producers asking them questions and like
Hmm.
showing the microphone and showing them being like, how do you feel? That's not an element that we've seen before where production is now in the
Mhm.
story.
Have we yeah, I feel like we've seen them run out before and
When
see, like, the
something crazy's happening, yeah.
yeah, and, like, seeing the cameraman chasing them. I feel like we have seen that, but maybe not with to the point where, like, producer asking a question.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean, like, I'm not saying we've never seen production, but we haven't seen them be like,
Mhm,
"So how did you feel about that?" And, like, showing them, like, holding the mic. I think that
mhm.
is them trying to, like, break down that fourth wall of, like, we know it's a reality TV, and we know and we're trying to show you, like, the
Yeah,
genuineness and the realness of it, but it just I don't know, it's not doing it for me. It's just
no.
not doing it for me.
I feel
But
like
Imma
that's a
give it
popular
another ch is that, like, the overall general consensus that you've been
oh,
seeing
yes, I
online?
think most people are not ready to let go of the old one, and it's hard, right? Change is hard, so I think most people are not feeling it, so
I think it's a different audience. So that's why I
mhm,
think they should have made it its own thing because like I said,
yeah,
I think that maybe Gen Z would really enjoy this show or really like this
mhm,
show. If they think that they're gonna capture the same essence and keep the same audience that they had for Vanderpump for the past 11 seasons, that's just I don't see that happening.
no.
That's gonna be very, very difficult.
Well, I think that Next Gen did do well, right? But, like,
Yeah.
maybe we weren't into it, so I think that is what they're trying to do, and I think, yeah, they should have just changed the name, right?
Yeah, I think Next Gen did amazing, right? Because
Mhm,
it's capturing a whole new audience. It's capturing that young audience that are resonating with those characters.
mhm,
I don't think that we're getting a lot of people who watch The Housewives now watching Next Gen. Maybe some, of course, but
mhm,
like majority of the audience, it's a brand new show, you
yeah,
know? So I think that Vanderpump Gen X or Gen Z or whatever, or next gen would have been like to try and capture an entirely new audience would have been the way. Because
yeah,
I don't see the OG Vanderpump watchers are just going to watch The Valley because they
yeah,
want to keep up with those characters that they've been watching for 10 years. They don't want to keep up with these new people that they don't know that they
mhm,
have nothing in common with, you know? That's just my take.
yeah. No, I totally agree. It's gonna be hard. It's like with the New York one, right? Like that show might have been fine on its own, but you can't like to follow the original New York Housewives, which were iconic, as like the only one that could watch over and over. You're not gonna ever be able to duplicate that. And so they every season everyone's like, this sucks. It's not
Yeah.
the original. So
Mhm.
they're always going to be compared because they didn't give them a new season. They tried to just stick them on the end, give them season 15 off the bat, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't work because you're always
Yeah.
gonna have that comparison then. Next gen,
Yeah.
there's nothing else to compare it to, so what
Yeah,
it's a new
it's
show.
their own thing, right? And
Mm,
and Vanderpump Next Gen, this is a new era of Vanderpump. This is where we're at now. Maybe they should have just called it Sir. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is the
yes.
next era of what's going on at Sir
Mhm.
now. It's just kind of like, okay, rapid fire thoughts on each character.
Well, I was just gonna say, did you hear, Andy they did, like, a little Vanderpump Rules special last week, and
Oh,
apparently they almost named instead of Vanderpump Rules, they almost named it Just the Tip. That's what it was almost called, so that would've been weird. I
that
just
would have been
can't think
very weird.
yeah.
How does that even like what is the correlation there?
I guess tips, waiters,
Okay, no.
tips.
No.
No, I know, it would have
No.
been very bad, so
Disgusting.
I'm so glad they didn't do that. Speaking of tips, I guess they tip share, I would have hated that, like, they all just pool it and split it. You got coworkers who do literally nothing, and then I'd be working my ass off, so if I had to share my tips with them, I would have not liked that, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what they do at all restaurants now or what, but
They do it at a lot. It's a very
ugh.
common. Yeah.
I guess it's because then you have people fighting over there's, like, good sections and bad sections, and it's not fair if you have a bad section, you won't make as much money, but to expect everyone to work at the same level,
That's
I
yeah,
I
not
don't like
fair.
that, so no, the
Yeah.
whole point of if I knew that's good to know because when you go to a restaurant and you have an amazing server, you're tipping that person, you're not trying to tip all the other people, so that annoys me, but I'm sure they have their reasons, but
Yeah. Yeah.
rapid fire, I mean, I don't feel like I know enough about them yet to say who I like, who I don't like. Like I said, I think
Eh,
Marcus made me laugh. Venus made me laugh. Natalie is annoying. Didn't love. I mean, I like Natalie. Who's his girlfriend? Marcus's girlfriend.
I don't know. Marcus's girlfriend. We'll just
Kimberly,
call her that. Yeah.
Jessica. You didn't love her because she just cried the whole time, and I'm
She's
like,
annoying. Yeah,
Kimberly,
she's
that's her
annoying.
name. Yeah.
Okay, she's annoying.
Natalie, I did like. I mean, she's messy, but she kept me interested. Demi, I thought she was funny too. Shane, I don't have
Did you
enough
think
to
Shane is
say.
hot?
And now, I mean, I know you like Freddie. That's why is that your type
He's
or
like
no?
traditionally attractive,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
I
he looks
think
like a model, but
he's a
he looks like a model. It's not really my type. Not that I don't like attractive men. I don't know. He's a pretty boy, right? Very pretty. He's a handsome
yeah.
guy,
So,
objectively. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, objectively. And so when you asked me earlier, I think it's more so off of his attitude and his demeanor that I don't like, but I think conventionally very attractive, chiseled
Yeah.
jawline, perfect hair, tall. You know what I
He
mean?
knows
It's
he's
very.
hot. So
He
that's what
knows
I don't
he's
like.
hot, very
Yeah.
arrogant, very. He had a hoop earring, which I don't really fuck with that.
Trouble.
But so I
No.
think like. Yes, on the surface, he's a good looking kid. I just don't like his demeanor. And I know that he knows he's a good looking kid. I don't
Hmm.
find Marcus, I think Marcus looks way older than the rest of the group. He should look
Hmm.
into a lower bluff operation. No, I'm just playing. That's for his eye bags. I don't know. There's something about Marcus, like he definitely thinks he's the shit, and it's like
Hmm.
he's not who he thinks he is. Say what you want about Chris, he does look like Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
He's
he does.
cringy. He's so cringy, bro. Like the fake Chippendales dance and the whatever his reenactments, like when he's
Hmm.
on the screen, my skin is like literally crawling.
Yeah.
Like he really annoys me. Um and then we have his cousin, which okay, they're very they have OnlyFans, they're dancers,
Hmm.
male dancers, trying to break into the entertainment industry, going on auditions, going. I'm sure there's like young people that will be able to relate to that. But honestly, Chris makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Natalie, again, trying not to compare, but to me, she's trying to be the Sheena of the group. She's trying to have those one-liner moments, like when she read off her phone, like, "Oh, Mercury's in retrograde, and these are
Yeah.
all the reasons why it shouldn't be." I feel like those are moments where you're like trying to say something funny, and you're trying to
Yeah.
like have this viral moment. Not feeling it. Um, Demi, again, haven't seen enough of her. Demi, however we're calling it, haven't seen enough of her. Wish Paolo was incorporated into the storyline.
Hmm.
I like Venus.
Yeah.
Kimberly's annoying, like you said. And then I think that's it. That's the bunch. That's the group.
Yeah, I think there's another girl coming. We've seen in the preview. She's not there yet. She seems entertaining, but yeah, I think Venus and Natalie are my favorites so far. If I have to
Mm-hmm.
pick, and the
Mm-hmm.
rest,
Okay.
we'll see.
We'll get
We
there.
need a few more episodes,
We need
so
a few more episodes.
yeah. But yeah, let
Mhm.
us know what you guys thought, and we'll be back with our Potomac, our Salt Lake City, our Beverly Hills recaps. We've got our Secret Life of Mormon Wives reunion episode out, and Love Is Blind Italy. So we got lots of stuff out there. And thanks again for sharing your Spotify Wrapped. If you did, it was super cool to see us on it. I can't believe it. Oops. And yeah, if you're listening on Apple, give us a rating because apparently those are very important. And any final thoughts?
Nope.
That's it.
That's
We'll
it.
be back. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.